Welcome to Gear Lante. Alright, so it happened. I crashed the Mavic Air 2. I don't think it was my fault, but I think it was. So I had been doing some videos. I was pretty confident there was above the tree and further behind the tree. However, obviously it wasn't. It almost happened in slow motion. Like, in slow motion. Like, wait a minute. And then it happened. It fell and it tumbled and it was hurt. Now, I wish it would have recorded, it would have continued recording the whole thing. However, as soon as it hit the tree, it stopped recording. So I don't have any good juicy video for you guys. Alright, I will have a small little snippet as to what the damage was. I'll put it right up here somewhere. Up here. I'll put it up here. And you'll see what the extent the damage. I'm sorry, but my dog just decided he was going to come up on my lap and do a stretch, so he distracted me. Yeah, I'll put him up on camera very shortly. Come on, come here. You want to go on camera? Oh, there he is. He's usually not this shy, but he's being shy. All right, off you go, boy. So I'll have that short little video in regards to what the damage was, and then on with the video as to how to take off the gimbal and put it back on. All right, here we go. Okay, so this is going to be another video on how to take off the gimbal on the Mavic Air 2. I started a different video, but I wasn't able to take it completely apart because I couldn't. There was 2 screws I couldn't take off. However, now I have the full set of screwdrivers that I can remove it. I may splice the 2 videos together so you guys can get overall a good view. All right. So you got to start off with this cover here. So this cover here. Okay. So let's see. Alright, so after the little mishap that I had, which was crashing it within the first couple days that I had it and destroying the gimbal, I actually use this gimbal guard here, and it's great because while it's on, it actually helps to keep the camera off the ground and keeps it a little bit more steady. So here's where it's actually broken and re-glued, right here in this part here. It's really hard to see, but I re-glued it there in several parts, and it works great. So I'm not going to deal with it, not right now. Alright, so let's start off by removing this screws. Alright, so now I do advise that you have somewhere to put the screws, somewhere that's magnetic. With this little kit, I actually got one of these, which is kind of neat. However, I have a round container that's magnetic and it has a lid, and that's usually where I put all my screws. So this is going to be held down with 6 screws. Okay, so we're going to continue on now. So that's 3 screws and got 3 more to go on the top plate here. That's the top. We're gonna move that, set that off to the side on a safe place. Now it does have this little plate here. Okay, so it's gonna be this little plate here. It just simply comes off. Okay, and it goes. It has 4 holes, and there's 2 corresponding like dowels that sit right here. Okay. Now we're gonna remove the 4 screws that actually hold the gimbal in place. I'm gonna take off the 2 hardest ones first. They're gonna go right here towards the very front of the gimbal. Okay, I'm gonna take those off first. Alright, so now we're gonna grab some kind of tweezers to grab those 2 screws out. Basically fish them out of there. Now I'm gonna put these 2 that go at the very front off to the side here, because I believe these are slightly different. Okay, and then I'm going to take off the other 2, the back 2. Okay. So there's the last one. Let's check, see if there's any others. Should be another 2 that are the very front leading edge. And those, these, I know that earlier I said the other 2 were the hardest. No, these are the hardest, and they're like in a star pattern. And they're tiny. Alright, so those 2 in the front, I'm able to get them out with the, looks like a little star number 4. Okay, and those are the ones that are very leading edge. They're tucked in there. Okay, so once you take off those very 2 tiny itty bitty ones, to make sure you don't lose them. Pretty much now you gotta take off the 2 little plugs, and they're simply push plugs. So you very gently kind of wiggle them out. And there's your gimbal. completely removed, and let's see if I can show you guys where I glued it. So here's where I glued it. There. Where else? Right here. There. There. So in several places. All right. So now you got your gimbal out. So these are the very ones that I was talking to you guys about. Leading edge there. Those are the hardest. Okay. So 6 screws on the gimbal itself, and that's it. Now, very much like the way this Mavic Air has been built, I find it to be much user-friendly. I had to replace the gimbal on a Mavic Pro, and that was not pretty. That was not nice at all. It wasn't the hardest, but it surely was very user-friendly. This is simple, very simple. Okay, so now even though the gimbal is broken and glued back together, it works just fine, so I'm not going to replace it at this time. Maybe in the future, if I have another crash, hopefully not, I will replace it then. So it just falls back into place there. I'm gonna put in the smallest 2 screws first. Okay, so that's 1. That's 2. Well, here will be 2. Like I said, this is what looks like it to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pointy corners. So it's like star number 4. Okay, so that's that. Now let's do the other screws, and the rest of them are the same size. And for them, it's 0.5. What looks to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-sided, like a hex, right? So let's see. That's that. Okay, so this will be, I'm putting in the 2 rear ones for the gimbal, and then I'm gonna put the 2 middle ones, and then move on with the rest. So that's the middle, leading edge, rear. Okay. Okay, that's that. I'm gonna press the 2 data cables back in. Very easy. I hear these are very hard to, very easy to damage. You basically put it, guide it right over where it needs to be, and gently press down. and you hear it snap, what I do, I just put it right over it and kind of gently shift it around until I can feel that it's right where it needs to be, and I push in, and once I push, you hear it snap. Okay, very easily. Okay, now we should have 6 screws for the very top plate. This is a no-brainer. And actually, before you do that, be sure to put this back plate on there. Do that. Do make sure you put that in first. I tend to forget and have to remove that plate back off. Okay. And like I say, it has 4 like dowels that stick out. It's a no-brainer. Okay. Now we're going to do the others. I'm putting in the middle ones first and then working my way out towards the edges. Okay, so 3 more to go. Okay, 1 more to go. So this would be the process you would have to go through if you were replacing the gimbal, obviously. When mine broke, I didn't have to do all that. I ended up being able to glue it back together without really taking it apart. Okay. There's that. And now, turn it on. And there it is, up and running again. And I actually should have had the battery removed when I did that. So if you do something like this, do remove the battery before you do it. I just happen to have forgotten. Well, as you can see, it works just fine. Like I said, it was pretty bad. It was just hanging by the wires. However, I was able to glue it back together and it works just fine. For the time being, I'm not going to worry about it. If I have another crash or eventually later on down the road, I'll send it in and have DJI replace the camera and any other damage that I may sustain, which I hope is none, zero, zilcho, nada. All right, you guys stay tuned. You never know what might happen. I do have a couple videos in the works, so stay tuned, subscribe. All right, thank you.